Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this episode, we are going to discuss the relationship between stress and performance, not just in the acute, but also in the chronic. And we're going to use something called the human function curve. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, click the button below and make sure that you follow along. The human function curve was designed by a cardiologist over in the UK called Peter Nixon in 1979. And he developed this curve to really help individuals who had gone through particularly bad burnouts that were in rehabilitation in his clinics, to allow them to be able to subjectively look at a graph and go, whereabouts are they in their relationship to their stress and performance? We're going to delve into the curve, and you're going to get some takeaways of how you can best use this to manage your stress long term, so that we can look into when stress is actually helping you and when stress becomes a hinder. So with the human function curve developed by Peter Nixon, on the left-hand side, we have performance. And this can be related to not only physical performance if you're an athlete, but also your productive performance maybe at work or within your business. So what I would describe that as is your ability to have a high level of focus, to feel energized, and also to be enthusiastic about your work and taking the action. On the bottom, on the x-axis, we have the level of stress. And we can see that there's a relationship to begin with that looks quite linear. And that is because the nature of it is that we require a bit of stress to actually allow us and to motivate us to then take action. So for example, if you find a piece of work a little bit challenging, or if you're going to put yourself into an athletic pursuit that this might be a little bit outside your comfort zone, or you need a bit of competition, your level of performance is going to increase. Now, you've all probably heard of something called the comfort zone, these two lines here. And that's probably, look, if you were to say at which that is your level of performance, you would say that it's going to be around between 40 to maybe 60 or 70% of your highest level of performance. That's where the comfort zone is. But we don't get progression when we sit in the comfort zone. And it's fine for some people to sit there if they are content, they're happy with their lives, and actually they don't want to progress any further. However, it's within our instincts to really thrive in life. And I believe that if we're not continually looking to grow, then we are putting ourselves to the laws of entropy, and therefore both physically and psychologically are breaking down. So every now and then, we really want to be pushing our level of performance. And we want to push that up to 80, 90, 100% every now and then. But then, to ensure that we don't go over from eustress to de-stress, meaning that we're using stress as a positive rather than a negative, then we can expose ourselves to these situations and actually then come back to maybe behind our comfort zone or lessen our comfort zone. For example, we might go on holiday, we might do a deload if we're an athlete, or you might just implement sleep strategies such as sleep extensions, adding naps, using non-sleep deep rest protocols, or just implementing more kind of relaxation protocols that can allow you then to recover. Because we know that when we step outside the comfort zone, that's really expanding our boundaries. Both epigenetically, when we put ourselves in unfamiliar environments, we have to change at the level of the genome. That then creates a difference in our protein productions within our body, how our metabolism works, and also that then imprints through both our immune system, our hormonal system, and our nervous system onto neuroplasticity to create adaptation and change, as well as within the muscles or in the body, depending on the specific outcomes that we're trying to train. So that's really how we evolve and adapt and become a better performer. However, the issue is that often people are ignoring signs of fatigue or finding ways to cope with them that might not be beneficial in the long term. Let's say, for example, it comes to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and you start to feel a bit tired. How many of you actually take this as a sign that might just need a little bit of a 10-15 minute break? Rather than going to grab a coffee, looking for more stimulation, some people might find drugs, depending on your coping mechanism, some of those are going to push you further into a higher level of stress. And this amber zone here, that's when we're going to start to see signs of decline in performance. So that's when you start to make mistakes, unable to focus on things, you're distracted quite often, and you might feel a little bit of lethargy, and people just notice that you're stumbling a little bit further than you should do. Then, as we get into the red zone here, if we continue to ignore these signs, we're then pushing out to the point of exhaustion, illness, injury, crisis, breakdown. So this is pushing us into the area of burnout. So here is where actually the majority or large amount of high performers will be sitting, not realizing that they can probably benefit from taking some rest, to create some adaptation, to take a step back, go introspective, create some creativity, and allow yourself to have some moments of clarity. This is what Performance Through Health and my coaching aims at helping you individuals with. It looks at implementing strategies to enhance your performance in a healthy and safe manner, to recognize when you go in these areas of stress, to be able to use these tools and measures and your own physiology to check in with yourself to know that are you in the amber or red zone, and do you need to back off? Is the stress that you're delivering on yourself actually having an adaptational benefit to your performance? By checking in using this human function curve, not only can you see where you're at in the moment, you can also plan for the future. So we know that probably for the majority of the time, we should be aiming around the 60 to 70% of our capacity. Every now and then, if we're competitive, or if we have a lot on, you're running your own business and there's a lot coming up, or you're now a C-suite executive and you have a big project to work on, you're then going to push yourself here, sometimes maybe even here. But by having a strategy either before or after to allow yourself to come back to this point for a short period, to be able to monitor and track that, to see when your physiological markers start to improve again, to allow yourself to then increase your performance. So there we go. Insights into how you can better manage your stress so that you can ensure that you stay on top of your performance and not ending up with chronic health disease. If for whatever reason you find that you are struggling with stress, anxiety, feeling on the edge of burnout, please do reach out to me. We can set up an assessment call and we can look at how to best manage your stress to be able to improve your sleep quality, boost your focus and your energy for high performance. Don't forget to leave a like, comment if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.